Okay, I am Depthswalker, and today I'm doing another reaction to a Skyebrows AI video. As I said, I'm going through them in order, and I have seen these before. This could be more me trying to figure out how the hell he does it. I am in the paddling end of the swimming pool of AI generation technology, whereas I think Skyebrows is starting laps. I won't say he's like Olympic quality yet, because I think he understands that there's a lot more he can do if he had the time and all that. But every time he puts out a video, it's better than the last in one way or another. Always the music, mostly in the video, to be fair. The quality of the recording and the editing and putting together. Although I do think some videos have got better overall feels and some of the better looking videos, if you know what I mean. It's not always about the quality of the picture, it's about how it's put together. Now, I'll say from the beginning, this here with a Joe Rogaine experience, I think while it's visually more cohesive than Elon Musk, I don't like it as much as Elon Musk. It's a fun little video, lots of little references. I mean, part of it's down to I'm not really that much of a Joe Rogan fan. I mean, I know about him and I've seen clips of him. I just never really watched him. So a lot of the things about him just sort of skip me by. I mean, I know about all the conspiracy theory stuff, but you know, it is what it is. But I'll go through, point out any references that I think are pertinent. But first off, we'll do one playthrough uninterrupted while I just watch and bop along to music. And then I'll do a bit more detailed one. And I'll try and keep it concise like the last one and not like the first one. Because the first one was very much me trying to figure out what I was doing. This one, I am trying to... Yeah, you get the idea. All right, here we go. Studio spaceship, red lights hum. Spotify warps, headlines dumb. CNN knows he loves his pace. Jamie, shut the bleep up, no time to waste. Cold plunge, sauna, glorious sheen. Stem cells grow, repair the seams. Carnivore fueled kettlebell swings. It's entirely possible. Jim wrote there. Joe's Rogaine. He's thick made. Minoxidil has done it again. Here is the factor. Vaccine reactor. Joe's Rogaine. Jimmy, pull that shit up. I need to see. Do dragons exist or is it just me? Steak sizzle check is beautiful made. It is DMT vision, the deep state is slain. Float tank, UFOs, fighter planes. George Soros, TRT in his veins. Pull the mic closer, Jamie, play it, bro. Did Bigfoot vote? We just have to know. Joe's Rogaine for your brain. Podcast thunder, mainstream's insane. Israel detractor, that dude from Fear Factor. Joe's Rogaine. Jamie, pull up that bear. Harambe knocks 100 out. Kamala just laughed and faded all the cloud. Trump, where's the crown? Sleepy loaned out his name. Pretty sure we know just how COVID came. Jamie, zoom in, enhance that frame. What if the moon's just a big mind game?
Duncan's tugging threads. Did I mention Epstein? It's entirely possible it's all a dream. Joe's Rogaine. He takes benzene. Jordan Peterson's crying again. Government actor. Dragons the raptor. Joe's Rogaine. Them good old boys want their own Joe. It baffles Tim that they don't know. Lexax, Love, and Huberman hacks. Zuckerborg glitches, Asman reacts. Ice to heat and now for brains. Go Beckley, Teppo, and Cedar Grain. Spaceships landed now, Texas stoned. It's entirely possible, long form zone. Joe's Rogaine. Results are plain. He's breathing the musk. You all know his name. Fear is a teacher. Young Jamie's the seeker. Joe's Rogaine. He's in marvelous and decoding secret messages. Humans' final vestiges. Making new meat sausages.
Okay. That was Joe Rogaine's experience, or Joe's Rogaine experience, I should say. Now I'm going to turn the sound down on this time, and I'm going to play through, and I'm going to start pausing. First of all, captivating first image, just nice attracting image. In later ones, he does tend to put more theme of the video images up front, which is a better way to go, I think. Something that's actually implies the purpose of the video. I mean, especially with like can't see it because the screen. The Skyebrows. It's got Pippa right there, front and center. 'Cause it's all about his doing like the bunny ears, being like argument with Pippa. Now this, if it was him doing it now, he'd probably start with maybe like a Joe Rogan image, as like the sitting at a table or something talking. But I mean, this is still a nice, attractive image to go with. Now you can also see he's got the starting of a thing that he gets better at later, where he's like doing a pulse effect, and it's not quite in time with the music yet, but it's definitely something you see he develops further on. It's just like it makes it feel like the music and the video actually match up. I'm trying to do it myself, but I have no idea how to do it in my own stuff. So it's like do pulses and changes to the beat. I'm managing to get scene changes with verse changes in my music, but I can't quite get it to the speed that Skyebrows has managed in his later videos. But yeah, it also helps hide cuts, I think. JD Vance appears in almost all the videos at some point. Tony Signs guy. I've seen his clips, but I've never actually seen his channel pop up for me. I've seen people clip him, but I've never actually seen his channel stuff pop up for me. I'm not an American. I know of this guy who's been parodied here. I know he's a interesting individual, but yeah, just CNN and their reaction to Joe Rogan was horrendous. Ivermectin, horses only, after the CNN, because they claimed to love the whole ivermectin is for horses. It's like, yes, it's something that people do use for horses, but it's also used for treating humans. It's like turning around and saying, penicillin is, which I think penicillin is bad for dogs. I'm not a vet. But you get what I'm saying. There are medicines that go cross species for various reasons. call it a horse dewormer, but it's an anti-parasitic. But it's not an anti-parasitic because it just outright goes and hunts down parasites. It's an anti-parasitic because of what it does to what it does to living bodies that makes the parasites die. Also seemed, from what I've seen, to help the body fight off COVID, as in stop you from suffering badly from it or stop you from getting it. I don't know, but it just seemed the evidence I've seen seems to suggest it helped. It's been a while since I looked into this, so yeah. And just my field is biochemistry, but more from the chemistry side of things. I'm not a biologist who has chemical applications. I'm a chemist with biology applications. Jamie is the producer for his show. Now, here's one of those things. Was like, I think he's run this one in reverse and then edited it together, just because of the way the motion of the smoke and the body goes. When I first saw it, I thought it was like a muck-up of a bald man coming out of water generating hair, but it's like a liquid nitrogen cooling effect going instead. Now, this is a beautiful image, but it's filler imagery, which he uses less of now, but he also started putting in meme stuff like the muscly Doge. There's Joe Rogan as He-Man, and then the first appearance of the Shadow Band. At least I think it's the first appearance. I know there was another video between Joe's Rogaine experience and Elon's Musk. Cat Girl's What You Get, which is basically just a cheesecake video. But you got Tim Pool, Nux Taku, Charlie, Moist Critical, without his sleeve. But can't get everything perfect, especially not this early on. And a rather hairy looking non-bald Asmongold. I don't know what minoxidil is. I think that's one of those other medications that was used in the COVID stuff. Anti-COVID rather, but Cat Girl. Talking about him being like a fear factor. And I think he also did, Joe Rogan did a fear factor, and I think he also did something reactor, but I have not a lot of knowledge about Joe Rogan, I have to say. Third Eye, it's the mythology of awakening your mind's eye. Could also be a small reference to Tien from Dragon Ball, which is another thing that gets referenced in not Tien but Dragon Ball in general, who had the third eye. It would have been better if it was like something before he gained his hair, because then you could have him bald with the third eye. That's me. I mean, I'm picking apart like I go, oh look, this 4K imagery has got one pixel out of place. I couldn't do this. Not to this level anyway. All right, and here's an example of Skyebrows having multiple memes or references layered into one image. Because you've got, first of all, Neverending Story with Alcor. I want to say the Luck Dragon. That's more of a Studio Ghibli style of art, and it kind of references, I think, Spirited Away. It's been a while since I watched it. It's also referencing like Riding the Dragon in terms of drug use, which I believe Rogan's kind of a advocate for. I just realised my image is a little bit askew. Almost clicked another video. Moving back. Just beautiful art. DMT, and I've heard like the drug things to say about. Ghost stories and mythologies, all the weird and wonderful stuff that Joe Rogan talks about. Don't know whether he believes it, but at least has an interest in it. Obviously, I'm interested in mythology. I don't believe like 99% of it is real. My belief is that most mythology is based on observable reality that humans put stories to, and then they've been um, Chinese whispered over the years to insane levels. I mean, it's like how the Bible is about unicorns and dragons, and when you like look into it, you realize that unicorns are rhinos and dragons are very large crocodiles that were around at the time in the area where the mythologies were started. You know, there's reality behind the myths. Now, this is another layered meme. Around the time this video came out, I believe, was when a lot of the true AI slot videos were coming out before YouTube cracked down on the AI stuff. And there was a big, I would say, big creator, like somebody who put out lots of videos, and they were good videos. They were fun videos of like Bigfoot having found himself a phone, and he started like vlogging himself. It was fun. I think they're still out there, but I don't know whether the channel's still there. I haven't seen it pop up on my feed for ages, even though I followed him. Because it was funny stuff, and it was interesting to see what he came up with and how he adjusted things. So you have that aspect, and the reason I say that is because like the whole shirt and cap thing is, it was like a dude bro Sasquatch is how the guy did it, and then of course you got the whole tabloid newspaper Bigfoot married my wife sort of storyline that Joe Rogan tends to go for in his like more weird and wonderful stories that he follows. Leaflet, watching the Elon's Musk video, although it's not quite that, it's close. Asmongold, Kaya. I think this is the first appearance of Kaya in it, and you got Nux, then Joe Rogan going Saiyan, Super Saiyan rather. Cheesecake filler. 100 Men versus Gorilla, making it Harambe. Kamala's collapse. God Emperor Trump. Yeah, again, I think it's the first appearance of that in his videos. Not in the other one, is it? I mean, I know Trump appeared, but not God Emperor Trump. This is a reference to, it's a multi-layered one. The origin of it is, of course, Warhammer 40k with the God Emperor of Mankind. And then there was a carnival float someone made of Trump as the God Emperor, trying to, it was actually meant as an insult. Like a lot of the amazing memes that come from Trump's era, they were started as insults, but they people didn't seem to understand it. Just made him look cool. Now, don't get me wrong. In 40k, the God Emperor is a dick, but he's a reasonable dick. He does his things for a good reason. Survival of mankind. Now, Trump is a dick. Everything I've seen of him, he is a dick. But he's a reasonable dick. I'm peeking again on the sound. Why is this happening? First doesn't let me pick up any sound. Now it peaks every time. All right, let's see if this works. All right. Yeah. Yeah, he's doing things, and people can see the reason why he's doing it, and others are calling him unreasonable. It's like, no, people with their own eyes can see he's doing it for a good reason. He's doing it the best way, probably not, but he's doing it the only way he can. Seeing what happens when trying people to get reasonable about it, it just never happens. So, Pen. All right, now this is a deep cut about the COVID stuff. It's pretty sure we know how COVID came, but then you've got the original mythology all encapsulated in one image here. The original claim, the original claim was that it was pangolins, which is this animal here, basically being sold in a wet market in China and Wuhan, where bats who had the COVID infected the pangolin meat, and the pangolin meat got to the humans, and that's what was the COVID spread. But turns out this fella here had given money to a certain research lab that was not too far from the wet market where all this started. And that's about as far as I can go and say about this. Probably still have a mark under my video. The lady of the hour at the time of the video came out. Got good genes. Landing stuff. Saw the getting the word. We live in the Matrix. Blah blah blah. It's all like conspiracy theory stuff. That was Zuckerberg. I think it's the start of the Zuckerberg, in fact, in Skyebrows videos. Going Super Saiyan 2. I don't know what Betaine is. Then you've got Jordan Peterson. Good morals. A good father figure image who got broken by what happened around him. I haven't seen anything from him recently. But he still seemed reasonable, just not got the force behind him anymore. Like he lost his engine, I don't know. Men in Black, why don't mind. Some politician. More Super Saiyan stuff. And that's about how the fact Tim Pool keeps on saying, like, oh, that's it. The left keeps saying, oh, we want a left-wing Joe Rogan. And Tim Pool's like, Joe Rogan is left-wing. Or at least he was left-wing. He was, Joe Rogan is the example of someone who's, you might have seen the meme of stick figures. We got left, right, and you got somebody who's just to the left of center, and the person on the left runs a mile, and the center gets dragged, and the person on the left then turns around and goes, "Look at you, right wingers." That's Joe Rogan. He was on the left of center, and the left just ran a mile and pushed, not even pushed him. They dragged the center so far left. As we go. Spaceships landed, no text to stone. It's entirely possible, long form zone. Look at how Joe Rogan's on top of the charts of long form content, like Spotify and so on. Super Saiyan 3. Elon Musk referenced, and the fact he got high on the show. I think this is a reference to the Apple and the Viper. It's a reference to a program that was supposed to be running that was asking, or rather telling, social media platforms to block certain people, the whole censorship stuff. You've got Sharingan on basically like copy jutsu, basically, or cheesecake stuff. Herbal essences adverts like this. So we've got the hair being swung round, just a joke about adding the hair. The Illuminati eye pyramid. Now, people saying, "Oh, we've evolved the capital." That's not what he's talking about. Humans' final vestiges is that after we're gone, what will probably be left is the data storages and like the internet, basically, not in its current form, but it'd be like fragments of it. And there are so many cat girls. That's what they'll be. And the Skyebrows at the end there. Yeah. Skyebrows. A master in training, I'll I say, not a master yet, but a master in training. Whereas I'm currently mopping the floors. References. Ooh. Anyway, yeah, that was the Joe Rogaine's experience. As I said, this is on my new account, separate thing. So like here, yeah, good stuff. The editing wise, it's very early on where the tempo doesn't quite match the beats he's putting, but you can see where he's going with it. Lots of visual effects and warping going on. At this stage, I think it's mostly to hide the AI glitches and to edit together clips. But it's still amazing work. All right, yeah. Joe Rogaine's experience. This Walker, this has been Skyebrows Joe Rogaine's experience. Hope you enjoyed my breakdown of it, and I hope my recording got my voice well this time. All right, see you next time. Bye.